Hello fellow World of Warcraft fans, welcome back to a new video on my channel. A few days ago, I told you about a competition from CurseForge where add-on developers could submit their latest add-ons. And in the end, the community was allowed to vote on which were the best add-ons for World of Warcraft Midnight. In the meantime, we have a result. The top 3 add-ons have been decided, and I'll introduce them to you again. I've actually been using one of them myself recently, but only thanks to your tips. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have noticed it at all. There are some cool things included, and I'd say let's get started. It would also be cool if you leave a like and subscribe. That supports me, it doesn't cost anything, so it's a win-win. And with that, let's get started. All in all, you can see here, these are the prizes. We'll take a closer look at each item in a moment. But Elesmere UI 1, that's actually not just a single add-on, but a complete package. We'll see some pictures in a moment. All in all, it builds you a complete interface without you having to do much for it. In second place is Dandas Frames, a unit frames add-on for healers. Very, very cool. And Kulinator is in third place. It's a cooldown manager that works via drag and drop. I actually find that very, very pleasant. So all in all, Elesmere can look forward to $2,500. Dandas from Dandas Frames gets $1,500. And Plasmos, who wrote Kulinator, gets $1,000. And here, first up, you can see Elesmere UI. You can download all of these things from CurseForge. And what you see here is, well, all in all, it's like an all-in-one kit or tool or whatever, similar to Elf UI, for example. You download the whole thing and everything is already arranged. Map, boss frames, Mythic Plus timer, action bars you see here, your player target, cooldown manager, and so on and so forth. So really everything you need is included. And for that, you don't have to set anything yourself in edit mode or anything like that. I also follow Alice Elesmere myself on Twitter. And the dude really puts an incredible amount of time into constantly updating it. You can see here, you can also adjust it a bit to your needs. So, visibility, text size, etc., etc. But here you can see a bit in the pictures how the individual parts look with it, and he's showing it again here. Apparently the whole thing has very, very little impact on performance. So here you can see the CPU. The usage is in the 0 point something range. That's already pretty impressive. Here, this is what it looks like across different classes. So here, Death Knight, Paladin, Tank. This is the healer UI, that's how it looks on the device, Dora Demon Hunter. And here is another overview of what you can do with it, how you can also adjust its appearance. Like here, for example, with differently shaped buttons and so on and so forth. Honestly, I find this dude really likable, and he really puts a lot of work into it. Like I said, this whole thing has only been around since midnight, and yeah, feel free to check it out. I think it didn't win first place for nothing. Because people have recognized and appreciated the work that was put into this, so pretty cool story. If you use it, feel free to mention it in the comments. Then second place goes to Dandas Frames, and that's something I introduced to you on Wednesday. That's the add-on that I now use myself when I play as a healer. You can design, organize, and create your own frames for both groups and raids. You can move them wherever you want, change their size, and so on. So if you don't like the regular Blizzard frames for whatever reason, like me, you can use this instead. And what I find very useful here is this targeted spells feature. That's this display down here. That shows when a mob starts casting, for example, a shadow bolt, it will display here, okay, the mage is being targeted, for example, and it will hit in 3 seconds. If someone interrupts it, the symbol will be crossed out with this red X. And I think it really helps to assess which player is about to take damage. Other than that, debuffs are displayed showing what you can dispel. It also shows when a player uses defensive cooldowns and so on. It's actually super easy to set up. And accordingly, in my opinion, it's a really, really cool add-on. It definitely makes healing easier. So feel free to check it out here as well. I find it very, very useful. And part number 3, Kulinator, that's actually something I didn't know about before. But you see here, in the end, it works like that resource bar in the middle for your character, or like Blizzard's cooldown manager. Only here, the whole thing works with drag and drop. You can just easily move everything back and forth, add things using the plus button, swap the rows, and so on and so forth. So the whole thing really seems to be very, very user-friendly and easy to use. Plus, I think it also looks pretty nice visually. I think that would be an add-on we could try out as well. 10? Because then, yeah, in the end, I do have this cooldown manager, beta cooldown manager, but I still think it doesn't look as nice as Weak or as used to. Maybe that's worth a tiny little try again, and you can even see here. You have the option to use these bars. You can see that here with me, for example, Healing Stream Totem. That's the standard bar from Blizzard. You can also easily set that up here with just a few clicks, for example. So you have bars that run from top to bottom. Or here, Rune Display for the Death Knight. You can set that up really easily with this. Ultimately, I'd have to test for myself how beginner-friendly it is. So whether it's easy to understand, or if there are still some problems here and there, but at first glance, it really looks very, very nice. And here too, if it wasn't functionally good, I don't think an entire community would have voted this add-on to 3rd place in this ranking. So a lot of work has gone into that as well, and it seems to me to be a very solid add-on. Yes, those were ultimately the top 3. Congratulations to all the winners. Feel free to try these things out, and as I said, if you want, you can download them anytime from CurseForge. And then just try it out for yourselves. Yes, with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video at least a little bit and that it helped you. If so, as I said, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, that would really help me out. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great time and take care.